Okay, so I'm now recording the session so we can begin. So step number one was to open your Anaconda prompt, then typing in CD downloads, then CDST. Step number three will be to open your VS Code. So it should take you back to where we were yesterday, not unless you've had any changes. Yeah, so this is where we left off yesterday. So it's on our Streamlit app. So we have our app.py file, which has our code. So what I'm going to do is here, I'm going to delete this part for creating a bar chart. So we are going to have the title and the right part there. So those are the two things we are going to have for now. So I believe you have this from what we had yesterday. There are some notes I shared with you yesterday, and here they are. So we have the introduction to Streamlit. So this gives you a brief overview as to what Streamlit is. So yeah, we use mainly Streamlit to develop web applications, which we can at least display our ML applications to users. So let's go to the second part, which is the introduction to Streamlit. So what is Streamlit? So Streamlit is an open source Python library that enables us to build web applications easily. So it's ideal for data scientists that may want to do this without the complexity of a framework like Django or Flask. So when working with Django and Flask, you need to learn how to write HTML code, how to write CSS code. You need to learn how you can combine these different codes together. So Streamlit eliminates the need for that. Okay, so with just a few lines of code, you are able to like create your web applications with ease. So how do you install Streamlit? So to install Streamlit in your command line, so for you, I've shown you how you can do this. So in your Anaconda prompt, you type in pip install Streamlit, and this installs Streamlit for you. Then how do you run Streamlit? So you just type in Streamlit hello. So this launches the demo app. So let's proceed on to the next part, displaying information in Streamlit. So what kind of information can we display? So the first thing we've seen that we can display is the title. So the title of your app. So to display the title of your app, you type in st.title. So the goodness of having these notes is that I've structured each and everything in a way in which you can clearly understand what I'm showing you. So you can head over to WhatsApp, open the group description, and open these notes, and you'll have access to what I'm showing you right now. So yeah, let's go before we proceed on with looking at this. Let's go back to our VS Code and see what we have. So I'm going to delete everything that we have here, and we will have import Streamlit as st alone. So once you have that, I want you to go back to your VS Code, delete everything, and have this single line of code. Then click on Control Save to save your changes. If you click on Control S, your changes are saved. So 1 minute you work on that, then we can proceed. Okay, so let's proceed. So what I want you to do next is open your Anaconda prompt. And if you are in your directory, I want you to type in Streamlit run app.py. So type in Streamlit run app.py. So for me, I have to use Python -m Streamlit run app.py. So this will launch your Streamlit app on your web browser. So this will be an empty app because we haven't added any functionalities to our app. So you can see it's empty. So a minute you do that, then we can proceed. So Streamlit run app.py. Okay, so we can proceed. So the first thing we need to learn about Streamlit is the Streamlit title. So I've requested you open these notes because you will be copying these codes that we have here. So the first thing that we can implement is the title. So this is the first item of your application, so it will be displayed at the top of the application. So we use st.title method to display it. So we can go back to our app.py file, add another line, and add the title of our app. So here I will have st.title. Then for me, I'm going to type in Streamlit tutorial. After doing that, I'm going to click on Control S to save my changes. So I've added my title. So for you, you can go ahead and open these notes and copy these and paste it to your app.py file. Then click on Control S to save your changes. So once you've written this, you can go back to your web browser. And if you check here on your web browser, we have this I. This I means that your source file changed. So what I want you to click is here we have the always rerun button. So I want you to click that. So I'm going to click on always rerun, and now I have my app title. So Streamlit tutorial. So
Joseph,
yes,
good evening. Sorry. Where did you send the notes? I can't. On the
check the
WhatsApp?
group description. We have the model deployment notes. So I've added them
Oh,
there.
yes, yes, I've seen.
So open that link. Then if you open the link, open this part of the note. So displaying information in Streamlit. So that's where we are at the moment.
Hello, Joseph.
Yes.
I don't know why I'm not having the always run today. The tab.
And is it so if you make a change, so is it changing?
Yeah, sure. It's changing when I save the details on my on my what
So if it's changing, then you
on my
don't need
Visual
to.
Studio.
Yes.
Uh, but once I save, then I refresh the web browser, the
Yeah.
tab that is,
Yeah.
it brings the changes.
So you don't have to refresh the browser.
Oh,
All you
I
have
remember.
to do is, can you make a single change, then go back to your web browser. So you will see the I button here. Then click on always rerun.
Let me try
Yeah.
make some changes here.
You can even change a single letter.
Yeah, that's what I'm actually doing. Yeah, there. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so I guess we can proceed now. So hope everyone has access to the notes. So the next thing we can look at is the headings. So remember in a browser, for example, this is a heading. So how do you, so this is a title and this is a heading and this is a subheading. So how do you add the headings and the subheadings? So we have st.header and the st.subheader for that. So you can copy these two things. So maybe I can go back to my VS Code and I'm going to type in header and we are going to type in something like st.header, then this is a subheader. So for you, you can copy what is in the notes, but for me, I can type in a few different things. Then we have the subheader. Then this is a subheader. Then I'm going to click on Control S to save changes, and this should reflect in the web browser. So you have 1 minute to copy that and implement it on your side also. Okay, so you should have your changes. So if I go to my web browser, this is what I have. So you can see I have my header and I have my subheader. So let's look at the next thing we can add to our app. So the next thing we can add is the text. So the text is for writing content to your app body. So for example, this is text. Okay. Then we have also Markdown, where we use Markdown for special formatting. So for example, you know that your Jupyter notebooks are in Markdown form, and there are a few things you type in using Markdown. Yeah, so here we have the text part and we have the Markdown part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this here and I'm going to paste it to my app.py file. Then I'm going to save the changes. So let's go and read this again. So the text for general text within our application body, we use the st.text method. So if we have special formatting requirement, Streamlit allows us to use Markdown with the Markdown method. Then the st.write method allows us to add text. So this method, however, will display whatever we specify in the parentheses based on the type of thing it is. Okay, so copy this and paste it to your app.py, then save the file again. So you'll have to save the file for the changes to be visualized on your app. Okay, so here you can see our different outputs. So this is from st.write, where we have some special formatting here at the end. This is from st.markdown. Then this is from st.text. So you can decide which to use with more practice. Okay. Then the next thing we can check is mathematical equations. So how do you type in mathematical equations to your Streamlit app? So to type in mathematical equations, we have LaTeX inbuilt. So you can just type in st.latex and type in your equation using the LaTeX syntax. So this means you'll have to be good at working with LaTeX for you to type these equations. So this is just an example. So I'm going to copy that, the s3.latex part, and then paste it to my app. Then click Ctrl S to save changes, and then we can see the mathematical equation here. Okay, any questions so far?
Yes, I have a question there.
Yeah.
In the functions for Streamlit with
Yes.
different calls or basic calls, do we have any other formattings, especially in terms of font, in terms of color, in terms of position, either the center towards the right, and do we have them? For example, if I decided to type once install run Streamlit using the command, you specify it, and then you underline that command. Like we have such kind of Streamlit functionalities, or
Yeah.
make a link. Like for example, for more information, assuming we had st.write and quotation, for more information, click here. So we use here as the link, so someone can click there and open a new tab. So, okay, like other formattings anyway.
Yeah, we have them. So you'll just have to at least, so here you can see, for example, the Google link. I've added it. So you'll just have to play around with Streamlit more for you to like understand it. So what I have here is just the basics notes. So cause I can't dive into each and every detail. So when you are doing
Right.
your practice, then you can at least try go into more details. Yeah. Yeah, but it's possible. It's possible. Yeah, so let's proceed. So the next thing I'm going to add, which is the last thing on this displaying information part, is the captions. So you just type in sd.caption and yeah, you have your caption, you will have your caption displayed. So let me save, then we can see what we have. Yeah, so this is our caption. So a caption is a smaller text as compared to what we have in the body. So we use sta.caption to display captions of items displayed in our application. So for example, if we had a graph, so we will use the st.caption method to explain maybe what the graph is displaying. So things like that. Okay. So hope you've understood this part. So displaying information in your Streamlit app. So basically, if you want to type in text, you can be using any of these. So as an example, so you don't have to do this on your side. So for me, maybe I can delete some things here. I can go to Google and search for something like, what can I search for? Yeah, let me get some text from here, an explanation to some things in Excel. So I want to copy a longer paragraph. So maybe this here. Then I can come back and paste it here. Guess that should be enough. Then I can delete the rest. Then if I click on Control S, yeah, this is what we are getting. So we are getting some text from our app. So you can do some formatting and see if you can. Yeah, so that's just an example of a longer text, but you can play around with it later on while you have time. So let's move on to the next thing here, which is, so we've learned about the displaying information on Streamlit. So let's go to the displaying data part here. So what are some of the data types we can display here? So the first thing we can display is a metric. So if we have just a single number to show as a key metric, we use the st.metric method. So there is a delta option to show whether the metric increases or decreases. So to display a decrease, we use a negative value for delta, which is displayed in red, and increase displayed in green. So we can copy this. So st.metric, then yeah, we can show the velocity. So is the velocity increasing or decreasing? So here we have st.metric. Then we have to give our metric label. Then we assign it a value and how much this value has decreased with. So if it's decreasing, we use the negative sign. If it's increasing, we use the positive sign. So we can maybe copy this again, create a second value. So here I can have something like 90.2. Then here I can have positive 2. Then I can save. So you can do the same on your side and save the changes and we can see what's happening. So if I open my web browser, here you can see what's happening. So this is our metric. So velocity in kilometers per hour, we have 75.4. Then it has decreased by -2. Velocity in kilometers per hour, it has increased by +2. So maybe if you are creating a presentation showing like changes in performance, so maybe you can say like this is our performance for this year and this is the change. So we've the performance has reduced by -2. So things like that. So at least you know where this is applied. So it's similar to if I open my trading tab here, you can see something like this. So we have maybe the price of an asset. So this is gold. Here you can see the change. So it's a change of 0.03%. But here the metrics are being displayed in a different manner. So you can think of this as something similar to what I have here. So yeah. So hope you have yours being displayed out here. So for velocity. Yeah. So apart from metrics, we can go ahead and display data frames. We can display tables. We can display JSON files. So those are the 4 things that we can display as data. So what we have to do to display, for example, a data frame. So you know how you create data frames. So you either import data from CSV files or you create data frames from PDFs. So which method would you like us to use for this class? So should we use a CSV files or should we use what is here? So I will go with your suggestion.
Yes, Papa, you should, or maybe a list and transform it
So we
to
create a list.
yes, to a data frame.
Yeah, so I think we can do that. Yeah, so maybe I'll come up with a list. So list of assets I trade. So here I'll have assets being equal to, so first of all we have gold, we have euro, we have USD, and what else do we have? We have GBP and we have BTC. So you can have your own list here. Then the next thing I'm going to add is the values. So for example, gold is at 1914 at the moment. The euro is at 1.0. Okay, so the euro should be at maybe 115. The dollar is at 102. GBP is at, let's say, 100. Then this should be at 2000, around 2000 or so it's at 29,500. So those are the values I have. Then next what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my data frame. So here we're going to have pd.dataframe, but before that I'll come back up here and type in import pandas as pd, because we need the pandas library for the creation of the data frame. Then after that I'm going to type in df should be equal to pd.dataframe. Then we pass in our asset, assign it the assets list. We pass in the values, assign it the values list. So yeah, we have that. Then the next thing we can do is we can display the data frame. So to display the data frame, we type in st.dataframe, then we pass in our df. So go ahead and do that and see what you'll get. Okay, and what I'm going to do again is I'm going to display a table. So we are going to have st.table, then we pass in our df. So 1 minute you work on this, then we can proceed. Or let's say 2 minutes. So at 8:44 we can proceed. Okay, so save your changes and open your web browser and check if you have your data frame. So this is how our data frame is displayed on your web browser, and this is how a table is displayed. So so if you want any of them, it will be your preference. And again, you can sort them here. So instead of sorting them on Python. Yeah, so that's what we have. So I want us to stop there for today. And I want to like give you guys time to go through the rest of the notes. Then when we meet next time, so here we have, for example, displaying charts. So these notes are self-explanatory and you can see they are simple stuff. So you just need to understand the syntax. Then from there, when we meet for our next class, we are going to create a demo full stack application. And for this demo full stack application, we are going to like have things like data importation, data visualization. So we create something like a dashboard and all that. And then from there on, you can go ahead and try create your own applications. Yeah. So any questions concerning what we've covered for today? So hope you've understood how Streamlit works and maybe some parts that we've covered for today, like some of the things we can visualize using Streamlit. Any questions?